Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Udendo, also known as Lulo M, and today I am going to be showing you guys how to install a frontal wig. So basically what we're going to start by doing is we are going to brush our hair back just to take it out of the way and just so that we do not damage it or we do not tamper with it in any way. So I use the soft and free gel. I love this gel because it is moisturizing and it also does the job. It sleeks the hair down and it does not flake and it does not leave any residue. So that's why I love that gel. So basically step 2, we are now going to do the bold cap method. So we are going to put on our bold cap, and just advice also, if you can, it's best if you use a stocking because stocking colors or shades are very close to the skin tone. I didn't have that on hand, so I decided I'll just use this wig cap. And yeah, we'll try and make it work and try and blend it with my skin. So that's basically what we are doing here. And another thing that I actually forgot is I forgot to start by cutting off my ears. So the first thing you need to do is you need to cut off your ears just to make it more comfortable and also to make it easier when you are cutting. So we are going to be using the Glamour glue spray today, and I've been seeing a lot of people raving about it on social media. And I thought, you know what, let me just try it out. And I must say, I'm really impressed. It is also fairly affordable. And yeah, I think the can is like 80 something rand, which is fairly cheaper than your got to be. So yeah, I actually really like it. And the fact that it does not leave any residue, it does not feel heavy on the skin. It also doesn't irritate my skin because I have really sensitive skin. So anything that is harsh irritates my skin. So yeah, like I said, I forgot to cut off my ears. So that's basically what I was doing there. I was just trying to get my ears out because they were suffocating. So yeah, just ensure that you don't forget to cut off the ears. So what I did also is I just continued spraying. So with the spray, you just need to spray enough up until you feel like everything has been covered and there is sufficient glue on your wig cap, right? So yeah, so that's basically what you need to do. Another thing that I would advise you is do not spray too close to the hairline. But my biggest problem is that I have a really tiny forehead, so it's really difficult for me not to spray on my hairline. But also I've tried this before, so it didn't really damage my hairline. And like you saw, I actually sprayed a bit on my skin. So if you do make that mistake, just take a cotton pad and wipe it with some witch hazel and it should be fine. So yeah, so then I just dried it out with a hair dryer. The reason why I actually made this part a bit long is because I wanted to show you the bold cap method in depth, just so you guys can also utilize it and see how it's done. So as you guys can see, it's quite fairly easy. It's not much of a hassle. Then right now I'm just going to cut off the wig cap, and I'm just going to measure where I want the wig to lay, just so that I don't leave too much. So as you can see, the glue is actually easily peelable. It's not really harsh on the skin, so it was quite easy for me to just peel it back and cut off all the wig cap residue that I want to cut off, basically. So yeah, so you just need to make sure that you are cutting what you need to come off, and you have measured where you want your wig to lay as well. And also just be careful with the scissors, guys. I was so scared that I'm actually going to cut my skin. So I was literally cutting it as slow as possible because I was just like, I can't be cutting my face, child. Noise. So yeah, so that's basically what I was doing. I was just cutting it off. Another thing that I was scared to do is I was scared to actually cut off the back of the wig cap and also the front here because I thought it's just going to loosen the wig cap. But guys, don't be scared to cut it off. It isn't going to loosen the wig cap. The wig cap is quite sturdy, it's quite firm, so it won't go anywhere. So don't you worry about having your wig cap actually move back or come off, basically. So as you can see, I was so reluctant, but I was just like, okay, you know what, let's just take the risk. I can't have this thing hanging behind my ear. So yeah, that's basically what I did. I just cut it off, and it gave me so much reassurance that the wig cap didn't fall off. So hence why the other side I was just quick to cut. So another mistake that you should not make is that you should not cut the cap too much, right? Because it's going to give you a problem later on. So yeah, so you basically measured your head, you cut it. So now we have a bit of the wig cap that is lifted. So you just take your spray and you just take your glue and you just spray it onto your fingertips and just rub it in nice and softly just to have it lay, and yeah, you should be good by then. So in order for us to make this cap look natural, we obviously need to use our concealer or our foundation. I do advise that you use a concealer or foundation that is darker than your skin tone. This just makes it so much easier and it just makes the blending very seamless. So that's what you need to do. The one mistake that I made prior is that when I was installing, I actually used my foundation shade that I used on my face, and that actually didn't turn out really well. But if you use a shade darker, it just blends in so beautifully. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put on our wig, and the first thing we need to do before we put it on is we need to also we need to tint basically the lace, because otherwise you are going to be looking like a ghost. Like, you just need to make sure that you rub the foundation into the lace. Another mistake that I made is that I did not put enough foundation on the lace. So please make sure that you put a lot of foundation on, or concealer, whatever it is that you're going to use, just so that the lace does not look white anymore. Just make sure that you do not skip that step, and make sure that you do it with precision, because that's going to determine whether your lace melts or not. So it's very important to note that you need to put a lot of concealer or a lot of foundation, and a foundation or concealer that is darker than your skin tone, just to get rid of the ashiness of the lace and to give it a seamless look, basically. All right. So yeah, so now I was just cutting off the lace on my ears just to make it more comfortable, and also to make it the size of my head. One thing you need to do is you should not cut a lot. Like, I measured, but I then realized that I actually cut a lot. Don't cut a lot. Just, if you can, cut it bit by bit, just to ensure that you do not cut the lace too much. Otherwise, it won't look so good. And yeah, I also realized that the wig cap is showing a bit, so I need to also just cut that to make sure that it is well blended and it is inside the wig and not showing outside. So yeah, that is basically what I did. And yeah, as you guys can see, once I've cut the edges and I've done everything, I was just pouring more foundation. That's when I realized that I think I didn't pour enough, but you will see that I still didn't put enough concealer on the lace. But you know, we can actually work with it and make it work. We will solve it at the end of this video. So yeah, so that's basically what I had to do. Now you just have to measure your lace and measure it onto your forehead and see whether it's sitting right, and just see if it feels comfortable on your head. And then we're going to go in again, right, and just brush our hair back just so that it's out of the way when we spray our glue. So yeah, when we're done doing that, we're just going to see where we want the wig to sit. And once we've determined where we want the wig to sit and we've gotten rid of all the excess hair that is in front, if you have clips, you can actually use clips. I didn't have any clips, so I didn't use them. And you just go in with your glue again, and you spray it nicely onto the lace. I think you need to be very careful with spraying it. Don't spray it too much on the hair, or else the hair will be glued basically. So yeah, so just ensure that you spray it nicely. And also I realized that I sprayed it too much, so when it was time for me to remove the lace, I had white residue on my forehead. So just spray where you want the wig to lay. And yeah, then again, we are going to tie our lace down. Just make sure that it is nice and tight, just so that you can have a seamless lay or a seamless install, if you can say. Yeah, so now it's time to take it out and cut the lace. Guys, cutting the lace is not child's play. So I decided to go and do it off camera because I couldn't really see with the camera viewfinder. So I decided to go and cut the lace off camera, because I then realized that this is not going to work. Like, I am not going to be able to cut the lace nicely if I actually cut it on camera. So I decided, you know what, let me actually just go and cut the lace off camera. And yeah, so then again, I sleeked it down. I sleeked the frontal down, just so that it can lay nicely after cutting the lace. And I will show you what it looks like and the mistake that I made. Like I said previously, just make sure you put a lot of foundation, just so that it blends nicely and it just gives you a seamless look. So as you can see here, I'm removing the band gently, just so that I do not lift anything or I do not damage my skin. So that is basically how it looks. And this is where I realized that, shucks, I didn't put a lot of foundation. I didn't put a lot of concealer on my lace, so I need to make it happen. So that's basically it, guys. Installing a wig is not so difficult. It is easy, but the one thing that you need to take note of is you just need to try and make it look natural. So yeah, that is basically how it looks, and I will show you the final product after I've actually put some concealer. And yeah, so guys, there you go. Let's finally take it off and see how we did. Wow, okay, all right girl, all right girl, all right girl. I think we just need to put a bit of foundation here and we are basically good to go. This is basically how it looks. I feel like it has melted so well, and I am quite happy with the install. So I'm just going to fix a little bit here and there, and I guess also do our baby hairs. So let me quickly show you what I use to do the baby hairs. I use this brush that I got from Clicks, and I also use this soft and free gel. So basically for the baby hair, I just use a normal gel. Yeah, so this is the gel that I use for the baby hair, and I think this has blended in so well with my skin There's just the little impurities here and there that we need to fix, but I am satisfied. Like, it literally looks like it is coming from my scalp, honey.